What's happening, everybody? On today's show, takeaways from SEC Media Day 2 here in Atlanta. Nick Saban, Mike Leach, Shane Beamer, and Clark Lea were all at the podium. Our very brief conversation with Alabama linebacker Will Anderson. Wide receiver DK Joyner from South Carolina will join us to talk about the upcoming season. And Mississippi State defensive lineman Jaden Crumedy jumps in with us as well. Locked on SEC starts right now.
Are Locked On SEC, your daily podcast on the Southeastern Conference. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's happening, everybody? Welcome into Locked On SEC. Great to have you guys along. I'm Chris Gordy. Thanks for making Locked On SEC your first listen every day. Remember, Locked On SEC is free and available on all platforms, including YouTube and at LockedOnSEC.com. We're going to jump into it, go around the conference. We're going to welcome in our buddy Chris Marler from Saturday Down South, who's going to go around the conference with us. What's up, man?
Oh, man. Not me.
All right, here we go. We're going around the conference.
Boots out to the right.
Takes the handoff.
What a catch!
Around the conference.
And we start with Nick Saban, who has never had players like he has in Bryce Young and linebacker Will Anderson. He said to have two players that make such a significant impact on our team as those two guys, I don't recall ever having a circumstance like that. You agree with that?
I mean, on offensive defense, yeah. I mean, I don't think you've had – I mean, you're talking about maybe, Rolando McClain and maybe Ingram, but I don't think it's on the same kind of level. That's tough. I think people forget sometimes because it's Bama that team probably should have been 8-4, 9-3 last year. And they were very mediocre in parts of that game or in parts of that team, but they had the best offensive player and the best defensive player in the country. So, yeah, maybe that is true to some extent. He wouldn't lie.
Some other comments from Nick Saban. He shared that Bryce Young is a perfectionist and also maintains the mindset to improve and make progress as a player. Saban also said, I don't dislike name, image, and likeness. I'm all for the players. I want players to do well. Our players made over $3 million in name, image, and likeness. He said there's got to be some uniformity and protocol on how name, image, and likeness is implemented. You agree?
I mean, yeah, I don't think anybody believed him. It was very weird because he brought up also the quote, you didn't bring up the haves and the have-nots. And ideally, I think it's pretty obvious how much this is going to impact the have-nots around the country. You hear the part he brought up about making two super leagues and what that means for all the teams left out. Like, what does that do for those people in the state of college football?
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting. But then he immediately went back and was like, just so we're clear, we're one of the haves. We're not struggling. And just like.
And the media said, oh, thanks for the clarification. We were confused. I was able to catch up with Will Anderson for a very brief conversation. Alabama outside linebacker. Here was a little bit of that conversation with Will. Best defensive player in the country, Will Anderson. How's the offseason been for you, man?
It's been great. I'm loving the offseason right now. Get a chance to, get my body right, work on some things I need to work on going into the season, some things that I need to work on last season that me and Coach Saban talked about. So it's been great. Helping the younger guys as well, too.
How do you build off of a season last year, or can you?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Because, when you're not complacent and you have things to get better on and that there's always room for improvement, I feel like, you're in the mentality you have, your game is always going to develop and get better. So that's really what I've been focusing on.
How excited are you for this defensive front to get Dallas Turner and all these guys? So many young guys, too, that we don't even talk about. I mean, it's a dangerous bunch.
I'm so excited. So much talent on the front line, a whole bunch of younger guys that's hungry. So it's going to be very exciting to watch, and I can't wait.
All right, what's Will Anderson doing in his off time when you're not playing football?
I'm going fishing, I'm going hunting or swimming. I'm somewhere near the water watching the waves or watching the water just cruise or watching the currents. So I'm doing something by the water, that's all.
Awesome. Well, thanks for the time, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Have a good day.
That was a very brief conversation with Will Anderson, but that's a bad dude.
So he had a quote downstairs, and I said this, I think it was to you last week. I was like, the person who's going to have, I wouldn't say the best quote, but the most awkward, uncomfortable quote from like a player standpoint was going to be Will Anderson, and they said
that camera's right in your face, by the way.
why is it so close to me? Well, this is so much. I'm turning
Leave
it away.
Don't
I
touch
don't
it.
want
Just
it.
move your chair back an inch.
Well, I mean, okay, why didn't you do that
Good
before we started?
Lord. This is what we get for going around the conference with Chris Marler.
Well, you should have told me that you had a fucking rear view mirror set up
Finish
right
your
in front.
point.
Anyway, he brought up the fact they were like asking him, growing up. I don't even know what the question was. He goes, I was the type of kid like to go outside, get in the dirt, hit trees. Which, I mean, I've been angry at times. I don't think I've ever hit a tree.
Never hit a tree.
I feel like that was probably something from Footloose. Maybe even like dance fight, hit the trees.
Well, Anderson was big into dance fighting.
Without a doubt.
Mike Leach, he's aware of the changes in college football, and he said, look, I think we are starting to cloud a definition on what's a conference and what's a league. It's a little bulky. If it's just a conference, everybody plays everybody quite a bit, 10 to 12. I think this is kind of what you're after. I don't think it's realistic to play more than 16 games or too many more, but it's too good to have it's good to have quality teams all working together. Since we were children, there's not a team in the SEC you haven't heard of. I think he makes a good point. Like, I brought that up recently. Like, the definition of the word conference is a group of teams that play each other.
Right.
If you start getting to 20, you're not a conference anymore.
No,
You're
not
a
at all.
league.
Right. And I think people have like a bad taste in their mouth, or they have a bad perception of what that word means because of the big 12.
Right.
Right. And like only having 9 teams. First off, the math don't add up.
Well, yeah. I mean, we had the Pac-10 went to the Pac-12, and then the Big 12 had 10 teams. Just take the numbers out. Like,
right.
let's just call them.
Don't even get me started on the Big 10 thing. No, but I think because that's a different way, and we've seen them get hurt by that in the BCS era. When you talk about Oklahoma State getting left out, not having a championship game at times. I mean, I don't think like Sankey brought up the fact that they talked about doing possibly even 10 games and just having one big conference. Either way, no one's going to be happy.
Yeah.
We're still going to bitch about this next year.
Shane Beamer, he was talking about South Carolina, expects them to make a large jump this season. He said, for us, it's continuing to build on what we did last season. No one is satisfied with 7 wins. I didn't come here to South Carolina to be 7-6 every year.
That's what they've been their entire program history. But yes, I mean, there's not a single person in here today or in general that's not pulling for Shane Beamer.
He's a good dude. He even walking up and down Radio Row a while ago was like stopping to say hi to everybody.
Yeah.
How you guys doing? Nobody else does that.
No. My
You know
mom
who
was
didn't
here
do that?
earlier. She didn't say anything.
Yeah, Nick Saban didn't do that.
Oh, well, Nick Saban was also probably kind of busy doing other things too.
Could you imagine if he did that, though?
The Soldier Boy.
What if Nick Saban stopped by and went, how you guys doing? You get in all right?
Are you okay?
Like, what's going on, coach?
Beamer continues to kind of win media days for the second year in a row.
Yeah.
And he even referenced what they did last year. And it's also like, think about how bad and cringy Dabo is. He's killing it.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's going to take an up or go up from 7-5 because they probably shouldn't have been, or 7-6 because they shouldn't have been that anyway.
Lastly, Clark Lea spoke with the media today,
Jesus.
Vanderbilt head coach, and fielded a question about his program's losing streak against conference opponents. Says he was not concerned about the streak. He said, we don't talk about that. We don't spend time on that. We don't tally up the collective records of our opponents. That's just not who we are. We're not just fighting to win an SEC game. We're fighting to become a dominant force within this conference. Obviously, winning in the SEC requires winning that first game, but when that happens, it's not going to be a huge celebration.
It will. It absolutely will. I mean, by all 9 fans that are in the stands that day.
Hey,
Clark Lea, he was my least favorite, I think, so far of media days, and that's not maybe a knock on him. Maybe he's super serious. I don't know. Maybe he's just bald Nick Saban. If Nick Saban looked like a thumb, I don't know. But the comment that was made about his first 3 opponents of the SEC conference play going 37-6 a year ago, they opened with Georgia, Bama, and Ole Miss. How daunting is that? It's not. Okay.
well, there you have it. That is the latest going on around the conference.
Better be having a spelling bee.
Chris Marler, thanks for joining us for Around the Conference. He gave a thumbs up for those of you not listening on the podcast. Coming up next, our conversation with DK Joyner from South Carolina. That is coming your way next. First, need to remind you guys about our friends over at Built Bar. From the people who invented healthy and tasty comes the latest gift to your taste buds. You probably tried the amazing coconut brownie chunk Built Bar, but guess what? Your friends at Built have given coconut brownie chunk the Puffs treatment. That's right, the coconut brownie chunk Built Bar flavor you will love, and a delicious, chewy, marshmallowy flavor covered in 100% real chocolate. It's a fluffy cloud of coconut brownie goodness. Stop drooling and go to their website right now. Built.com is the website. Use our promo code LOCKED15. That's going to get you 15% off your order. Use the promo code LOCKED15. All Built Bars made with collagen protein, which your body absorbs more efficiently, provides tons of health benefits. Eat something that tastes good and is good for you. The Built Bar Puffs, the taste amazing. Built.com. Promo code LOCKED15. Get you 15% off your order right now. This is Locked on SEC. Run along here on Locked on SEC, and always fun to catch up with a friend of ours, a guy who joined us on the show just a couple months ago, had the phenomenal performance in the Duke's Mayo Bowl. He is DK Joyner. DK Joyner sitting down with us. What's up, man? How are you?
I'm doing well. How you doing, man?
Doing
Appreciate
good.
you having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Talk about what the offseason is like. I was talking with Spencer Rattler at the Manning Passing Academy a few weeks ago, and he said, man, it was a wild spring, but like we didn't even have all our pieces yet. Like we still had guys coming in the transfer portal and all this. What was the spring like for you?
Yeah, it was. I mean, for me myself, I played a big role of just being a leader. I was kind of banged up on some injuries this past spring, but I'm fully healthy now. But this spring was all about learning from a different perspective on my end, but also just kind of being in tune with my teammates, just learning and just being and coaching. You know what I'm saying? That was big for me. But this offseason was definitely productive.
What when you look at this receiving core, obviously bringing some other pieces and all that, but what's it been like getting to know Spencer and kind of getting on the same page as him?
Yeah, Spencer, I mean, he's a really interesting, cool guy. Since day one, whenever we met, his locker is right next to mine, like right next to each other. He's a really good guy, man. We chop it up every single day, but most importantly, he's a great leader. A guy that everyone gels around quickly and smoothly. But we're very excited to have a talent on our team. You know what I'm saying? To be able to up our offense to a new level.
I know we talked about it before, but your Coach Shane Beamer, I know you guys absolutely love him and everything he does. And he's a guy that everybody wants to play for. We're seeing that through the transfer portal. We're seeing that in recruiting as he continues to crush it. But what do you like most about Coach Shane Beamer?
I think most importantly, the first thing that jumps off my mind with Coach Beamer is he's a player's coach. You know what I'm saying? He's all about us, whatever we want, not just what we want, but whatever we earn as well. But he's a guy that sees things from both perspectives, a really passionate guy about the game. He loves us genuinely. He makes sure we have fun. He's a great guy that we love being around, enjoy being around all the time.
When you look at this defense, I think, last year at times they had some good moments, and at times I think they would say it that they feel like they could get better. But what did you see from the defense, at least through the spring?
I think that's natural. You know, everyone has, ups and downs on both sides of the ball. But the thing with our defense, they're very competitive, very, very competitive at a high level. That ups both of our games on both sides of the ball, being able to compete versus each other. Those guys are very competitive, man. And I can't wait to see all the great things they're going to continue to do, creating turnovers for us. Our DBs locking out on the outside, front seven playing solid. So I'm very excited to see those guys play.
Of all the new guys that have come in, give me a name or two of the new additions you think can play a big role this year for you guys.
Juice Wells, Antoine Wells, of course, Spencer Rattler. But honestly, oh my God, the guy that's going to be a Jew that no one thinks about, Corey Rucker, Arkansas State. That guy is going to be that guy, whether it's now or a few years. Those three guys definitely jump off my mind. Definitely increasing the depth in the wide receiver room. But those guys are really great guys. And Spencer, I mean, everybody knows who Spencer is. You know what I'm saying? Spencer's a really great guy. Spins the ball really, really well. I think everybody knows that. But we're looking forward to this year.
What about Austin Stockner? I know there's a lot of talk about him coming over.
I forgot about Stog. Yeah, I'm glad you said that. There's so many people that came in. People kind of like run across my mind sometimes. But Stog is a really good guy.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know, but Nick Muse, Nick Muse?
Yo, dude, he was a trip.
Bro, listen, they are almost twins. Like, they act just alike. Two really, really good guys. Stog is an interesting dude, but Stog is he's a hard worker. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to see what he's going to do for us this year.
Yeah, Nick Muse was like the highlight of SEC Media Days.
Nick is hilarious.
That man is wild.
So he just texted me before I got here.
Did he give you any advice?
He kind of did. He kind of gave me some shit about it, but it's all good.
I like the threads today. You came dressed to impress.
Yeah, for sure. I appreciate it, man. My mom, my people helped me out with this little Pete suit with a little floral on the inside. Brown shoe, trying to be the best dressed, little gold accessory. For sure.
I like it. You look the part. And you back it up on the field.
Sure.
You also had an opportunity to do some NIL stuff, right?
Yeah,
you had
for
your
sure.
own website and stuff like that?
Yeah, I do. I can't stop single.com. As my brand, I'm very happy about it because I put a lot of work into it, you know what I'm saying? But not just with the clothing brand. I expanded to a football camp I did with my youth. back in North Charleston, South Carolina. Put on a football camp, but that is about my brand and everything I do. NIL and connecting myself is all about not just marketing myself, but being able to connect with fans, being able to connect with families and stuff like that. Having a one-on-one experience, personal relationships. That's what it's all about for me.
When you look back at last season, I mean, is it just easy to say the bowl game was the highlight of your year?
I mean, I want to say that, but for me, definitely. It replays in my mind all the time. I get reminded every day when I go out in public. But that was definitely a dream come true, and it still kind of feels like a dream. But everywhere I go, I mean, they replay it all the time on an ESPN, SEC network, and stuff like that. So it's cool though, man.
I remember Coach Beamer got the mayo. You didn't get any mayo on you, did you?
I did not get no mayo
Okay.
on me.
All right. But you got the Mayo Bowl trophy, though,
Oh, for
right?
sure. Yeah,
Okay.
MVP trophy. Yeah.
Yeah,
most definitely.
that's really cool.
Yeah.
When you look at this year, though, what is your ultimate goal? I mean, you want to show what you can do for the NFL scouts. I know you were talking to some of the folks at the Senior Bowl and all that,
Yeah.
but you want to go out there and show not only your versatility, but that you can play wide receiver consistently and also do it, be able to do it at the next level, right?
Yeah, most definitely. I think that's the goal. But something I've been harping on the last few weeks is the goal to myself is to be available for every role that I'm asked to be. You know what I'm saying? Whether that's special teams, offense, I don't know about defense, but special team, offense, being able to just kind of be available for whatever I'm asked to do. You know what I'm saying? Be consistent all across the board. Just be a guy my coaches and my team can lean on.
The cool part is too, I mean, now that we've all seen your versatility in the bowl game. I mean, now Shane Beamer, the possibilities are endless. Put you in a running back, end arounds, wide receiver pass.
Right,
I mean, there's so many. The options are endless here.
Yeah, but I think that's a good thing too because it gives teams something to prepare for. Every week a team's gonna have to prepare for me. You know what I'm saying? But they don't know which way we're gonna come out swinging. So I guess that's a good thing.
You got a pretty good arm.
Yeah, I do. I think I do.
You've been hiding it.
I think I do. I played quarterback my whole life. I think people really forget that. I just started this receiver thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm a quarterback at heart, though, man.
When you look at the schedule, what's the hardest part about getting ready for the schedule? Is it just getting your mind ready and then also being able to do all the things mentally, balancing schoolwork, going to class, doing all that stuff on top of, the grind of a schedule and workouts and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I'm a guy that this is my senior year into it, so it kind of is second nature to me now. But I mean, I don't think of it as much, but I think my biggest thing with, every single week is just preparing the same every single week. You know what I'm saying? Never try to get, overwhelmed with myself, kind of trying to be on an even keel. You know what I'm saying? Have the same schedule every week. I think the biggest thing with schedules every week is being able to have some downtime, being able to decompress and get away from everything. I believe that's priority for me. But I'm looking forward to it, man. Just kind of taking every week on the same, you know what I'm saying? Just being successful this year.
Last thing, I asked Spencer a few weeks ago, I said, a year ago at this time, he was on these preseason Heisman watch lists and preseason Heisman favorite and all this. And I said, does it feel a little bit better that you're, it's not that you're not being talked about, but you're a little bit more off the radar? And his eyes kind of lit up and he was like, yeah, kind of like that. Kind of like that we can play that surprise. I don't know if I want to say spoiler, but kind of jump up and surprise some people. Maybe week 3, week 4, people start going, hey, South Carolina's a team to watch this year. You kind of like that?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. But the thing with us, we just want to the thing about us, we're so tuned into ourselves that we know that we control the narrative of everything. No matter what nobody says, we put in the work, we put in the time every single day. You know what I'm saying? So we know what we're capable of. And the thing is, with the way we ended the season with the Dukes Mayo Bowl game, that gave us a chip on our shoulder, and I think everybody knows what we are capable of. You know what I'm saying? Adding pieces to our wide receiver room, quarterback room, all over the board. So we're looking forward to it, man. I'm excited to have a great year.
How hard is that to ignore all the social media stuff?
It's hard because you definitely want to say something back sometimes. But the thing is, like I said, we're so in tune with each other. We hold each other accountable.
Yeah.
It's hard, but we're just ready to go play, man. I don't think people understand how excited we are to go play.
All right, one more time. Remind our listeners the website where they can find your merch.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Can'tStopSingle.com. That's our merchandise. I got some new releases coming up soon for the season and stuff like that. But, yeah, if y'all go shop on there, I appreciate that.
Love it. Shout out. DK Joyner, thanks so much for your time, man.
I appreciate you, man.
Best of luck this season.
Absolutely.
We'll be back after this. Rolling along here from SEC Media Days, and Mississippi State is in the house, and joining us now from the Mississippi State Bulldogs is Jaden Crumedy, defensive tackle for the Mississippi State Bulldogs. What's going on, man? Welcome in.
Hey, how you doing?
How's this whole Media Days thing treating you so far?
It's been a long day.
Has it really?
Yeah, it has.
So y'all y'all flew in day of and then you go right back. So it's just this long thing, and they just keep sticking microphones in front of your face.
Yes, sir.
It's got to be fun though to talk about your accomplishments and talk about your team and excitement for the season, though, right?
Yeah, it is. It is.
What's the one thing you're looking forward to most? Just getting back after it.
Really, I'm just looking forward to the lights. Everybody getting crump and everybody getting loud for the cowbells, all that. I'm just ready to hit somebody, really.
It's so funny, the when you talk Mississippi State, the offense and gets all the attention. Mike Leach, and we're gonna run and gun, and we're gonna throw for 1,000,000 yards and all that. But you guys have had some really good defensive units and some really good performances throughout the years. Does it feel like sometimes the defense gets overlooked because the offense is so high flying?
Yeah, sometimes I will say that we do get overlooked sometimes, but it really doesn't matter because for one, we're gonna do what we got to do, and we make stops, we make plays, we make sure we get to the point, and we do everything we have to.
What's interesting is I look at that defensive front and I see a lot of senior. You guys are very veteran laden up front. All that experience and having those guys back, I mean, it's good and it's going to lead to success, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir, that's right. With everybody we got back, everybody can help out the younger guys. Everybody can help each other if somebody forgot what to do or what to say to the coaches and stuff. We all just have somebody to look to make sure that we do right on the field and make sure that we know what we're doing.
What's your style? Are you just that space eater? You want to eat up the interior of that D line, or is it using that technique and breaking through and add a couple more sacks to that total? Because you had a sack last year against NC State, but
yeah,
I'm sure in your mind you'd like to have a couple more to that record.
Yeah,
right?
most definitely. I would love to have more sacks. I'm more of a bull type of guy, and
Okay.
Work with the space that I get because I feel like that's the most that you can get from something if you work with the space that you got. Because that's really with everything that you do on the D line. So I just try to perfect that, and then sometimes I move out to the outside, but I really like the inside more.
You guys had a nice season last year, some really nice wins, but I know it probably bothered you the way the season ended, right?
Yeah.
Losing that to that other team in Mississippi and then losing the bowl game. It just leaves kind of a bad taste in your mouth. And I bet a lot of the guys in that locker room are like, man, we can't wait to get back after it.
Yeah, that's right. With us finishing off the way we did, it just doesn't sit right with anybody on the team. So everybody is just ready and pumped for the return of football, and everybody just ready to get on the field.
You do get a little bit of revenge game in week 1. You get Memphis, and that we'll call it a controversial game last year in the way that one played out. But a little bit of revenge factor there. Set the tone and try to get a W against that team, and kind of redo what happened last year.
Yeah, most definitely. I feel like we all just want to make up for what we did last year, and put in all the effort that we can with this game, and especially with it being our first game. Doesn't matter who it is, we're just gonna give it our all and do everything we can.
It's interesting. It's nice to get a nice home game to start the season. Then you're on the road out to the West Coast to go play Arizona, and then you're to Baton Rouge, which already is an evening game in Death Valley. It's never easy there.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking with Will Rogers at the Manning Passing Academy a few weeks ago, and he goes, "Man, we're ready to go, but man, we know what lies ahead of us. This schedule's brutal."
Yeah, it is. It's going to be a real different game changer.
Is it really? When you have a schedule this tough, is it all about the mantra is always game by game, week by week, but with a schedule like this, you really do have to take it week by week.
Yeah, that's right. Just gotta make sure you focus on who you're playing. Watch more film than you usually do, and just make sure that you get to it.
Talking with Jaden Crumedy of the Mississippi State defensive line. You go up against this offense in practice every week. What's the biggest challenge? Is it that up tempo and then they're just running a million plays at you?
Yeah, it's most of the tempo. Once they throw the ball, you just got to get to the ball. You got to make sure that you're in condition, and if whenever they do have a run play, you got to still be ready for that. But as far as the pass protection, you just got to keep working on your craft every day. So I feel like it's doing us great.
Yeah, and it's like you're conditioning. Like you got to be conditioned to get to go and get ready,
yeah.
Or else you're huffing and puffing and go, "Hey, somebody else come in."
Yeah.
What's give me a good Mike Leach story? What's your funniest experience with Coach Leach?
Let's see.
I mean, he does a lot of stuff, especially before practice. Like when he'll just come over there where we'll be start clapping because sometimes he take a long time. So he'll start to jog over there, and then like it'll take it forever for him to jog over there. So everybody just really be laughing and just ready for him to get there. And then he started talking, then we just start to do our bully in the ring, and it just really be funny to me.
Is he the type of coach like you could approach him at any time? Like his office door is always open. Is he that type of guy?
Yeah, he is. He'll talk your ears off too.
It's so funny. Obviously there's the whole pirate thing, and he wrote the book and all that. But yeah, it's funny because when you talk to him, you hear the funny stuff and all that. But the guy really knows a lot of football.
Yeah, he does a lot of football.
What thing are you most looking forward to, at least for this season, getting going?
I'm looking forward to seeing how all the guys come together and try to make plays together. And the younger guys, I'm just really ready to see what they got to bring to the table for us. And I know the older guys are gonna put forward every effort that they got. I'm just ready to see how this goes.
Yeah, it's a lot on the line, man. With all these seniors, this is it for you guys. So you want to go out on a high note, right?
That's right.
I mean, Austin Williams, this is like his 12th year at Mississippi State. So, you want to go on top.
Yeah, that's right.
Jaden Crumedy, thanks so much for the time. We really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Appreciate it.
All right, more after this here on Locked On SEC. All right, that is going to do it for this edition of Locked On SEC. Our thanks again to DK Joyner, Jaden Crumedy, and Will Anderson all join us on the show. We'll be back tomorrow for takeaways from day 3 here at SEC Media Days. I'm Chris Gordy. Thank you for making us your first listen every day. Now go make your second listen. Check out some of our other great Locked On podcasts like Locked On Ole Miss, Locked On LSU, Locked On Gators. Tons of different options for you. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow right here on Locked On SEC.